Okay.
Welcome to Ievision Organize ISO 31000 Risk Manager. My name is Mahesh Pandey and I will be your instructor for this demo of ISO 31000 Risk Manager. To brief you, Ievision is a gold partner with Professional Evaluation Certification Board. Uh, PECB is accredited by American National Standard Institute, which is itself a big brand name across the world. And every individual who have studied, done international certification must have been aware of ANSI. That is what is a credibility. For an example, you have PMI, that is Project Management Institute, is also accredited by ANSI. So that is the level of credibility that you have for PECB as well. Qualifications point of view, I'm a GDPR implementer. There are very few implementers are available. I'm one of them. I'm a COBIT implementer. Okay. Prince
This
2
is your
practitioner.
qualifications.
Yes, these are my qualifications.
The-
Prince 2 practitioner, ITIL expert, ISO 31000 risk managers. I'm a SOX champion, Sarbanes and Oxley. I have done most of the ISO certifications on lead auditor implementer related to my field, that is business continuity, ISMS, as well as the your IT service management. So initially, obviously, I am from a technical background, IT technical background. I'm a CCNA, CCNP certified. These are some of the
Mhm.
certificates that I have. I have altogether total 39 certificates that I have achieved in my career.
Oh,
And all these certificates are relevant to my field. Is that okay?
mm, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Uh,
Wow.
so these are,
It's too much though. Very good.
thank you very much. Here is some of the capabilities that I have delivered. I have traveled, now the 16 countries also added, 15 countries which is written here. I've traveled 16 countries personally, trained almost 50 countries people from virtually, delivered training programs on ITIL, ISOs, as well as the uh, information security like ISMS, ISO 27000, risk management. Trainings have been delivered in banking, manufacturing, oil and gas, and various other institutions. Okay, in this rather industries. Your training program, how we actually conduct, we bring every student on the same page. That is very important. There are some of the terms which will be used during the session that you should be very clear with their definitions. For example, process. Process, every individual or a professional have his own understanding, but a definition point of view, process is a structured set of activities combined together to deliver specific results. So you will be getting lots of examples
Mm,
while we are actually conducting the session. When I say simplest example, uh, for example, you are registering or booking an airline ticket. So there is a process, and there will be various processes followed when you actually arrive with your ticket and passport for traveling internationally. And then there will be, if you're traveling locally, you don't need to carry any passport. So process changes. Now there has to be a different activities and linked activities. Okay, so
mm.
that we will be, of course, guiding you through this session. All right. Now, governance. We generally say that governance is a control, monitoring, but there is much more for governance. Then we have to
Mm,
take some certain examples. Okay. Governance with respect to the setting of policies, fairness, transparency. These are some of the examples of governance, as well as monitoring and control. Yes. Now we have to have, but as you know, that COBIT is one of the framework for governance and management, enterprise management. Now that how that COBIT actually is framework is defined, which you should have brief understanding. If you have to learn COBIT, then you have to learn the 5 domains and 37 processes of COBIT. Moving forward, I hope that is okay with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because that understanding has to be clear. So the risk,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So this is a snapshot of Devil's Pool, Victoria Falls, which is there in Zambia. Generally, we start with open discussion on the risk. You may have we then in this case we will get to know your understanding about the risk, your view, your approach, your thinking level on the risk that actually comes out. There are various things maybe coming from you based on your domain and years of experience that you have. So as you said, you are masters in risk management,
Mm,
so there will
yeah.
be obvious factors and then certain uncovered points that may come out, which we will be discussing on that as well. So this is
Okay.
how the tone setting up that we do in the first session.
Mm,
Here is the learning outcomes. This is very
mm,
important slide, okay, which I have.
mm,
We do cover overall training, which is your learning outcomes that you are going to get out of the overall training is based on this one slide, which is very very important. You can
mm,
consider this is a crisp of your entire risk management book. I'll be showing you the standard
mm.
copy of this as well, so as you will have that fair understanding. Along with this, you will get the understanding of ISO 31000 risk management standard, okay, which is generic
Mm.
standard. Uh,
It's very, it's everything.
oh yes,
Yeah.
it covers everything. When I talk about this risk management terminologies, okay, there are certain
Mm,
terminologies which includes the residual risk. Okay, for example, I said, okay, there can be various other terms that you should know. uh, Here are those terms. Okay,
mm,
acceptance, analysis, assessment, evaluation, these are some of the common terms related to risk management, but we should be very clear. We have to take
mm.
certain examples around this and then we will move forward.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello? I can't hear you.
Very good. So now, thanks for come back. Principles of risk management. There are 11 principles of risk management that you will understand with this. Risk management standard understanding, which I mentioned to you a while ago, which you will
Mm,
be, this is the latest standard which has rolled out in February 2018. Okay, I
mm.
repeat, this is the latest standard which we will be mentoring you
Yeah.
on this. Uh, this is the
You,
second edition 2000, which I told you to the 2018
so
February. Okay. Uh,
this is the latest, is it?
yes, this is the latest February 2018. Just now,
So,
hardly
mhm, mhm.
9 months back.
Right, right.
Hmm?
So, this is the new ISO for 31,000, right? And when is it going to be renewed again?
Oh, this is renewed just now. Renewed
Yes. So
the
we're talking about 5, 6 years to go.
previous was 2009.
Oh, very nice. That's very good.
Yeah, so this is
So
the
we have
latest
more
one.
than
Yes, this is the
very
latest.
good. So you will be sharing this with us, right?
I can comment on this. Yes, I'll be sharing a hard copy of this. I'll talk to you offline on that. Okay,
Okay.
because this
No.
is a single user license only. Okay, and copying and networking prohibited.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
All right.
So I thought it's for the students. So.
All right, so I think we can move on.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Uh, I think my team member is chatting with you on the phone as well, so you can see some of the messages for your support. Okay, and meanwhile,
Okay.
moving forward, what you have is first three are generally the informative. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it starts with principles which I mentioned to you. First two rather are the scope and normative reference. Scope is nothing but the scope for the standard, and normative reference what you will get it. Okay, so this is about the overall understanding of the standard that you will have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here you go. There are no normative, so if there are some certain documents which has to be followed, okay, to understand this ISO 31000, so there is no reference document that is required. So that means this document what you have is sufficient for you to understand the risk management. Is that clear? There are
Right.
terms and definition. I will not get into all this because it will take unnecessary a time of that. I will show you the standard copy for your information.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
No problem.
this is what you have: the overall principles, clauses, and the right hand side what you have the process for the risk management, which starts with scope, context, and criteria for the organization. Risk assessment has three different parts: identification, analysis, and evaluation. And the another part what you have a risk treatment. This is in general the process followed for any organization. However, the other three
Mm-hmm.
parts of this is also very important in terms of communication and consultation, the where you have to continuously communicate. You cannot have for example with management. Okay, so at the start of implementing the risk management, while you are implementing and while you are following, you have to communicate and consult with different level of professionals in the organization. So that is what how to do that. That's what we have: monitoring and review, the performance review, okay, and the implementation
Mm-hmm.
review, how you are actually coming out of the risk, okay, and how you are actually following the risk management process overall. Recording and reporting the, I'm sure you are aware, the risk register concept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and the level of the risk, whether to treat, not to treat, it's not as a risk manager, it is not in your control. Okay, you can
Right.
record and report, but whether organization is going to accept that or they are going to take certain actions associated with that, they are going to set up some business case associated, they are going to implement some solutions for that, that's altogether a different ballgame. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Of
Now,
course.
yeah, so what you have is here risk management guidelines, scope, normative reference, which we spoke about. This is what you have the terms and definitions, which I spoke to you some time back. Okay, this is slightly in detail. Okay, I told you about the principles. These are
Yes.
certain
The
principles that you
consultants.
have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
moving forward, what you have is the framework for the risk management. Leadership and commitment has to be there continuously. The it is at core of your framework. Although you may bring lot of initiatives in the organization, but practically not possible without the support of leadership and commitment. Now
Mm.
there are what leadership and commitment should have, and how you should actually record that and document that you will be getting, and integration, then design, all that brief understanding of that. Next, what you have is implementation. This is very important: evaluation, improvement. Now the sixth one what you have is process, the risk management process, which
Mm.
we just had a dialogue. Okay, I'll be moving forward.
Mm.
Okay, then you have some
Mhm.
detailed information about that. uh,
Right.
okay, for each topic that we have seen over there.
Mm.
This is what your overall standard you have. Okay,
Bibliography. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now coming back to the point.
So let's say six main domain in that.
Correct. Rather, you may say four main domain. First 2 points are the scope and normative reference, which you don't have. Scope is ISO 31000 risk management general guidelines for any type of organization. Okay.
What is that? Sorry, what is that?
uh, Risk scope that you have for the risk management is, yeah, for every, it is applicable for any type of
No,
organization.
it is applicable for any type of
Yeah, so that's what
organization.
I spoke to you.
Yeah,
This is what you have
yeah,
a
yeah.
scope. Okay,
Right.
here you go.
Yeah.
This is what this document provide guidelines on managing risks faced by
Yeah,
organization.
that's
That
cool.
means it is not for that, it is not saying for IT organization, for banking organization.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For any organization.
correct.
So it's a generic standard.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. This is
Mm,
saying, you can see here, this document provides a common approach to managing any type
right.
of risk and is
Yes.
not industry or sector specific.
Sector specific.
Makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
We spoke about this risk management framework, how to identify risk management policy. This is something which is out of your standard, which we will help you to define the policy for the risk management. Okay.
Mm,
This
right.
you will understand with us. You will have certain reference points from me which you will be getting it. Okay. For example, I'm saying, okay, you can have a
Mm,
look at this document. Okay. Which says that purpose, scope, risk governance, risk management process, integration with others, system processes, categories, register, reporting, the overall policy that you have to set up
yeah.
practically.
Uh-huh.
Understanding standard and going through book is not going to help you. You should, your
Mm,
trainer, your mentor should guide you, okay, on all these things. How do you set up practically? You should
right.
know policy setting up. If you don't know policy setting up, having piece of paper certificate, that doesn't make any sense. Which we will,
True.
yeah,
That's
which we
very
will
true.
guide you. Yeah, which will guide you. Now,
Very
risk
good.
management roles and responsibilities. There are various roles and responsibilities that you have. As we just spoke about leadership, you have risk manager, lead risk manager. So there are various roles that you have in the organization. Again, that depends on the type of organization that you are working. If you are working in a bank, then there are, of course, obviously, information security management also have some roles and responsibilities
Mm.
in risk management. You have HR, you have finance, you have procurement. So it all depends who are a part of risk management. Generally,
Mm.
organizations who have actually completed or who have gone for ISO 27000, they should, okay, go through the risk
Mm.
management training as well. It helps a lot because it is not one man show, right?
It is. It is not.
It is not.
It's an organization, though.
Yeah, it's an
Mm.
organization. So
That's
we,
why actually I want you to record this, and I want to the authorized people to see this, so they
yes,
can maybe.
yes,
Yeah.
very much. Thank you very much. Risk management
No.
implementation approach. Now, this is really important, which will be a value addition from my side. Although you have implementation, some of the lines which you must have seen in standard, like 10 lines written, essay, that a paragraph that is
Yeah.
given. But this will take approximately 2 hours from my side. Risk management implementation approach, which
Hmm.
this is one of the biggest value addition that I can say out of my program, which when you are implementing framework, a standard, or any service in the organization, you will be
Mm.
successful. That is what I have seen as of now. People do
Mm.
come back to me for support. We do. Okay. Uh,
Mm.
we do some consulting, that's a separate part of it, but we do support in case of you are stuck up in some of the areas. For example,
Very good.
yeah, if you are stuck up in business case and you write me, Mahesh, I want to identify some of the business benefits, okay, for my the initiative on this risk management. I'll certainly give you a write up, and that will not be a copy pasted, obviously. That will be completely out of your scenario because I don't know what scenario you are into, what organization, and what challenges that you would be facing. All that we will understand and give you some suggestions. Okay. Uh,
Mm.
Now, coming back to the point, You will understand how to set up, how to write a business case, setting up the governance structure, setting up overall the implementation approach for the risk management. You should also understand from me, you will understand from me that the project management approach for the implementation. Then there will be
mm,
certain challenges, quality parameters that you have to set up. You have to have the risk register out of the initiative. So you will have to have the overall budget monitoring. Okay, you have to have the
mm,
project planning. So there are many things which are involved into that. It is going to take
true,
approximately 2 hours. Okay, bookish, you must have seen in some time back. We were just trying and looking at the standard. It's, lines, some of the lines which are given, risk identification techniques which are there, which you will be understanding, which I spoke to you some time
mm,
back while we were discussing offline, which may be
mm,
technically that you may identify, okay, with some event monitoring tools, okay, in IT.
mm, mm,
Physically, with people, which you may have some tools through the edge facilities management. So there can be various risks that you can identify, but uh,
mm,
how are you going to funnel and act on those risks which are impacting your overall organization and the credibility?
mm,
That is what is very important, which you will be learning from me.
true,
Yeah.
true,
Risk
mm,
assessment techniques. Okay. Now identification we spoke. There are certain assessment techniques. There can be 5 I. Okay. There can be Swift,
mm,
Delphi. So there are some of the business impact analysis. These are risk assessment techniques. Okay. Risk
mm,
assessment approach, evaluation. How do you evaluate? Generally earn value money, EVM. Okay. That is one formula you must have learned. Okay. So we set
mm,
up the budget, for example, that $10,000 considering the four different risks. But
mm,
probability of occurrence, okay, is
mm,
10%. You may
mm.
use only, you may need $1,000 for the risk, okay, to be mitigated.
Right.
You should not be reserving $9,000 additionally. So that is a loss to organization, isn't it?
Mm,
So these are some of the, because this value addition from this training is like this. There are, you need to know, otherwise if you don't know, and how you will, in general you will do some planning and you will keep some budget for that,
mm,
and that's
mm,
the disadvantage of self learning, or you may say not having that clear understanding. Okay. Now
yeah.
when I talk about the risk mitigation, okay, so there are techniques again that you have, which you will be
True.
understanding from me. So this
Mm,
is what you have overall program from Ievision that you will be going through for
mm,
3 days, which I mentioned to you, followed by examination. Your examination is you will essay type questions, okay, that you may have.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm,
Now these questions are uh, by the way, this ISO is an open book examination. Okay,
mhm.
is an open book examination. Uh,
There are books that we will,
yeah, you will be receiving. You will
yeah,
be
and
receiving. You
then
will
you know,
be,
okay.
yeah, yeah, you will be receiving from our side.
Mhm.
I hope you have
Yeah,
liked this, and you have our email address here as well as our website. You have our phone numbers as well. We have a couple of more phone numbers for you. Okay, that I'm just
yeah.
typing it for you. Okay, this is another number that you have. Uh, I have given everything as of now, which you wanted to know from me, starting
Very nice.
from, okay, from who we are. Okay, I have given you this proof. Okay, You can see this is latest one. Okay, validity is also mentioned there. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so this is nothing that we want to exaggerate, but is on ground. You can see my qualification. We spoke about the all
yeah,
the different points and the approach. We spoke about standard. We took a lot of examples as well. Okay.
yeah.
I wish we start working together and
Of course.
help you build your capability on risk management.
Thank you so much, Mister. Thank you.
Uh, as we discussed, that this is PCP accredited by American National Standard Institute. Okay, and we'll talk about. I'll show you the copy. Okay, of the book, which is the day one, which is 113 pages, which I said. Okay, for the risk management. You have detailed explanation. Okay, so this is not just slides. Okay, you have detailed explanation. Okay, I'll move forward so as you can understand this. Okay, yes, you can see this is quite detailed one. You have the definitions also. Okay, and
Mm,
explanations, risk and threats, the examples of that. And scientific definition of risk is mathematical expectations of functions of probability of events. We'll discuss when we come for the training. Okay,
mhm.
risk in statistics. These are some of the examples. Generally, we think that airline is the riskiest factor. Okay, it is
Mm,
very high risk. But if you look at the probability of the occurrence is very, very less. You can see here.
mm.
You can see here. Okay, but the maximum people die on motorbike in the world.
It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this anyway. So we'll move forward with the examples. Will
Mm,
That's what I was trying and showing you some. This is sample. This is, by the way, that was for day one. Okay, I told you about principles of the risk management, 11 principles. Yeah.
yeah.
Now this is day two. Okay. Again, this is 112 pages, which has again a detailed explanation of all those points which we have been talking about. Risk identification,
Mhm.
which we spoke about. This is actually a PCB way of, okay, a risk management framework.
PCB. What?
PCB, management
Mm,
framework. You have seen that
mhm.
the ISO 31000 risk management standard, okay, and you have seen it here. Okay, this is what you have seen, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is what you have seen here. Okay, here you go. This is what you have seen here. Okay, this is what.
Yeah, yeah. The framework, right?
Correct. Which you have seen it here,
Mhm.
right? But PCB has certain different approach for that, which is this. Risk management framework, context establishment, identification, analysis, evaluation, treatment. So all this is what is the PCB have come out with their own understanding, and they are based out of their uh, practices in industry.
Mhm.
See this. This is quite detailed one. This is aligned with the different standards which you have. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll move forward. Uh, which you will also we will be completing the exercises. Okay, these exercises
Mhm.
matters a lot to you. Okay, these exercises matters a lot to you. Okay, these are some of the examples.
Yeah.
Okay, myths and realities of risk management. Organizations are exposed more risk than today than 20. It is very obvious. You have to give certain
Mhm.
examples. Okay, so as this is
Mhm.
not just for the sake of writing, if possible to completely eliminate the risk may not be possible. Okay, can you say?
Mhm.
Will you say, for example, uh, in IT, there will never be impact to any IT hardware or the software from the external threat? Okay, practically not possible. Okay, practically not
Practically not
possible.
possible.
Yeah. So then you have to give your own explanation what is right or wrong. Okay.
Mhm,
Now, these are some of the examples which I said. Risk management implementation related points. So you have the example risk. Okay. So sorry, the
mhm,
exercises that we will be completing.
mhm,
This all things that I'll be closing all the documents which I have been talking
mhm.
about. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Henrik. Here are some of the photographs of my training programs.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, Accenture. This is Ghana,
That's you in the middle.
Kenya, Philippines, Vietnam.
Mhm.
This is Saudi Arabia. The photograph is quite black. I'm not
Ah,
black.
yeah. Yeah.
It is another country in Africa. He was the this person was the one of the major bank in Africa, and they have
Mhm.
presence across 33 countries. And he was the IT director for the entire bank,
Mhm.
who has attended my
Wow.
program. You can see this. Yeah. Most of these are the senior managers and GMs from the Telenor.
Mhm. This is in India, right?
This was not in, this is Bangladesh.
This one. Okay.
Yeah, this is India, one of the corporate again. This was Zambia.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is India in a corporate.
Oh, so you go, you are an instructor in
I told you,
the con.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
traveled 16 countries.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see this a small
Wow.
size of batch.
That's very nice.
I'm still here. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Can
yeah.
see.
All right. I think this is one more. And there are many, many more. Okay, I have trained over 7,000 plus people as of now.